The passing of a football legend, how to breed a dumb fan base revisited, NBA playoff predictions, and a long overdue Hall of Fame entry, coming up on Sports Limelight.
The Super Bowl in Pasadena is the destination for one of these teams, an event which conjures up the fondest of memories for the Redskins and the fondest of dreams for the New York Giants.
Sports Limelight, episode 79. Greetings, Drew.
Good evening, Bill. How you doing today?
I am well. How are you?
Wonderful.
You heard there coming in the great Pat Summerall. That clip to me, the peak of the Giants, and it was the peak of the greatest broadcasting team in football, Pat Summerall and John Madden.
Yeah, just watching those clips just now, it was pretty neat to see retro football clips and, those two guys commenting on the game. It was pretty neat.
It just really takes you back, hearing those voices.
Yeah, well, I liked Pat Summerall. He was just kind of the chill, just the love of the game. Really loved commenting on it and having John Madden do all the boom, pow, blah, blah, blah.
Their styles fit perfectly together. Summerall could be described as a minimalist, and he made it about the game and not himself, and he knew John Madden would fill in the gaps with analysis, so he really said the most in the least amount of words possible.
I agree. It's like he was a fan sitting next to me, just watching the game.
Ooh, well said.
Oh, thank you.
Now, on to, before we get into our main topic of the day, Drew, I'm going to have to ask you to either get out of my line of vision or change your shirt, if you could. I don't like that color shirt you're wearing.
What? I paid to get up here, man. I paid to be on the show. What are you doing?
Yes, the Arizona Diamondbacks. I have the Yahoo Big League Stew blog post on it here. Owner Ken Kendrick forced fans of the Dodgers to change clothes or find different seating when the teams met in their series opener on Friday night. And it's got pictures here of the before and after. I've said this before, I don't know if this is how you breed a dumb fan base, perhaps an intolerant one.
Yeah, I mean, being from here, I don't know how other organizations work in different cities, but I couldn't imagine another team like the Cubs or the Red Sox, doing this.
The only comparison we have is the Seinfeld episode where Elaine was asked to remove her Orioles hat in the luxury box they were seated in.
I think you better take off the Orioles cap.
Yeah, I better.
No, seriously, you're in the owner's box. I don't think it's a good idea.
You're not serious.
Yes, I am.
Oh, of course, Yankees would do it too. I forgot. Hey, remember when the D-backs beat the Yankees in the World Series?
The Diamondbacks are playing the Yankees right now.
That's right.
Although it's in New York this time, so 80-year-old Gertrude will not be twirling the baton, to harken back to my analogy from last year at some point.
Right.
NBA playoffs coming up, Drew. Boy, am I excited.
Dude, you sound excited.
150 games in 150 nights or whatever it is.
Dude, TNT, they know drama.
Oh, boy, do they.
I would like to make a bold prediction that the Lakers get out of the first round.
Now, what is your main reason for that prediction?
A couple reasons. One, I love underdogs, and I love when people say, this team has no chance, R.I.P. Lakers because Kobe's gone. And it just has all the ingredients for a cool upset like that, just to prove everyone wrong. Now, the second thing is, and this is kind of true, is that the Lakers kind of play better without Kobe there.
Ooh, that's interesting. Anna, I can tell you another theory of mine that supports your prediction. It seems like often when teams have a star player injured, in the long run, they are worse off, but in the short run, they're kind of temporarily boosted or buoyed, if you will,
right,
by the other guys kind of being shocked into stepping up.
Yeah, and this is kind of interesting, or should I say ironic. Now that Kobe is out, with Steve Nash and Dwight Howard there, it's kind of like the old Phoenix Suns. It's what Steve Nash was missing here at the Phoenix Suns, a big dude to pass it to.
Oh, well, there you go.
And a bunch of role players, and I think Dwight Howard will kind of step up now that he is kind of the main scorer. Now he has what he wants and a guy to throw it to him. So
Is there any way you see Miami not being in the finals?
No, I don't. I would have picked New York to upset the Heat, but I think Carmelo Anthony peaked a little too soon here. He was doing hot there in the last month and a half to end up with the scoring title, but I think it's gonna be downhill with him in that team.
I'd love to see the Pacers do it.
Yeah, that's a dark
not going to
horse
hold my
for me,
breath.
yeah, for sure.
Come on, Pacers.
Now, also, don't count out Boston. I mean, they've been here before. They're also one of those. Just because they don't have Rajon Rondo doesn't mean they can't win a series or two.
And they'll be facing New York in the first round.
Okay, see, this will be the key right here. If Carmelo can take control and beat the Celtics pretty handily, I think they have a shot. Otherwise, Boston's going to win it with their team play. NBA, where awesome happens.
You know where else awesome happens? Tomorrow night in Los Angeles for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the so-called Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, with Rush, finally, after 15 years or so of eligibility.
Yeah, it's 25 years after their first album, which was, 73?
74.
74, so 1999?
Yeah, so 14 years.
Wow, crazy.
What does this mean to you tomorrow night?
It means I get to watch them on TV and have them jam out to possibly the Foo Fighters, or with the Foo Fighters.
That is exactly what it means to me. Just, I don't, the Hall of Fame, so-called, and I keep throwing that in there because you and I could make the podcasting Hall of Fame and induct whoever we want, and if we make bad choices, that loses legitimacy. So that's what we have here, but, they're doing the right thing, at least way late. I don't care about this accolade, but I get to see Rush perform, and as you said, possibly with Foo Fighters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of the few bands that gets inducted, and they're still around.
Yeah.
So they're going to be playing like they're playing a show regular.
And not only that, they're still at their best. So I don't watch that every year, so I don't know how many, has been kind of way past their prime acts are performing, and how sad it might be to watch, but you're getting the best of the best tomorrow night.
I'm also curious to see what Getty and company have to say. Like, are they going to take a jab at this, or
elephant in the room,
right? Or are they just going to do what they always do and just stay classy and perform and then leave the stage? Yeah,
it's like you have to acknowledge it, but they'll probably acknowledge it with a joke.
Yeah,
just to get it over with, and then be humble and grateful.
Dude, the funniest joke or speech or jab that I've ever heard in the music setting was when Jethro Tull won Best Metal Album of the year.
Over Metallica, right?
Yeah, and then the next year, Metallica won it, and James Hetfield comes on, or somebody comes on and says, we'd like to thank Jethro Tull for not making an album this year.
That's good.
What a great jab.
Oh, now, if Michael Jordan was inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, how bitter would his speech be? And who would he insult?
Yeah, he would be like, you made a mistake, Rush. For not letting me play in Canada, or something like that.
Perceived slights and
you never allowed me to be in the band.
Shots at Jeff Van Gundy, maybe out of nowhere.
Right. And Brian Westbrook, or what's his name, Russell?
Brian Russell? The guy he pushed off for his final shot.
I didn't push you.
I guess that does
other than Rush, there's also a lot of good bands that are getting inducted. Heart.
They're pretty legendary.
Yeah, they're hot too, man. Ann and Nancy Wilson. Ooh.
Are they still on the top of their game as well?
They are touring. They were in Phoenix maybe 2 or 3 months ago, so
all right,
they're still jamming out. Albert Collins, he's a famous blues guitarist. I think he's getting up there in age, so I don't think he'll be playing too much.
No relation to Phil Collins?
Unfortunately not. That would be quite the duo. He's black.
Oh, so then how about former Giants cornerback Mark Collins?
I think it's his uncle.
Yes.
So I think Public Enemy is getting inducted, so
nice.
They should just call it the Music Hall of Fame. Not to take anything away from Public Enemy, but
we're
going to call it a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Good point.
Some other people I forget. Sorry.
That's all right.
But
we'll see you tomorrow.
But my favorite current artist is John Mayer, and he's going to be performing with Albert Collins. So that'd be nice. 2 reasons to watch.
There you go. Sports Limelight, episode 79. Thank you, as always, for joining us. Tell a friend if you wish.
Even take a friend to Sports Limelight.
There you go.
Our doors are always open. And our phone lines, too.
See you next time.